So let's dive into a story about a bear named Grizzy. Now, Grizzy has one great love in his life: yummy XL chocolate spread. But as you're about to see, this love has created well, a very sticky situation.
See, this is Grizzy's problem. His pantry is an absolute disaster zone of yummy XL jars. It's total chaos. He has no idea which flavor is which, and he definitely doesn't know which ones are about to expire. It's a mess, and he is one seriously frustrated bear. This calls for a system.
And just in the nick of time, who shows up? A team of super organized lemmings. And they have the perfect solution, something they call a magic data box, which, is really just a fun way of saying a database, a place to keep all your information perfectly structured and easy to find.
So the lemmings use Grizzy's pantry to explain it all, and it's actually a brilliant analogy. Think of the entire pantry, the whole collection of stuff, as the database. Then, a single shelf, maybe one just for the yummy XL jars, that's what we call a table. And the labels you'd put on that shelf, flavor, size, expiry date, those are your columns. Let's look a little closer at this idea of a table. It's not just any old shelf. It's a special one with these perfectly labeled spots for every single detail about every single jar. This structure is what's going to make finding things a piece of cake later on.
Grizzy is totally sold on this. But how does he actually get the jars from his messy floor onto this magic shelf? Well, the lemmings tell him he needs to learn a magic spell. And in the world of databases, that magic spell is a command called Insert Into. It's how you add a brand new piece of information, or in our case, a new jar, to your table.
And the spell is surprisingly simple. It's really just 4 little steps. First, you say the magic words, insert into. Next, you name the table you're adding to. That's our shelf. Then, you list the columns you want to fill in, like the labels. And finally, you give it the values, which are the actual details for that one specific jar. Easy, right? And here it is, the spell in action. The lemmings chant it out, insert into yummy jars, and they specify they're adding the flavor and the expiry date. Then they give it the values, hazelnut, and the date. See how the values line up perfectly with the columns they mentioned? It's super precise, just like a good spell should be. And just like that, poof, it works. One jar of Hazelnut Yummy XL is instantly organized and put on that virtual shelf. It's not lost in some chaotic pile anymore. It's tracked, it's organized, it's accounted for. That's the power of just one single command. But hold on a second. Grizzy has hundreds of jars. Adding them one by one with this spell is gonna take forever. He needs a better way, a more powerful version of the magic. He needs a power-up. Of course, the lemmings have a solution for this too. They call it the super spell. And if you look closely, you can see how simple the upgrade is. The beginning of the command is exactly the same. The real trick is how you list the values. Instead of just one set of details, you can list a whole bunch of them, one after the other.
So what's the secret ingredient for this power-up? It's just a comma. That's it. After the details for one jar, you just add a comma and then start the details for the next one. It is a crazy simple but super efficient way to add tons of data all at once.
So using this awesome new super spell, Grizzy and the lemmings get to work on that messy pile. And in no time at all, every single jar is accounted for. Let's take a look at what that final, beautifully organized pantry looks like. And there it is. Oh, that's so satisfying. It's a perfectly neat and tidy table. Every row is a single jar, and every column is a specific detail about it. You can see the flavor, the size, the expiry date, all laid out perfectly. It's clear, it's organized, and it's so much more useful now. So why does all this matter? Well, because Grizzy has literally turned chaos into order. He's not just guessing what he has in his pantry anymore. He can see his entire inventory in a single glance. And that's really the whole point of a database, to give you one single source of truth, making all your information manageable and, honestly, pretty powerful.
Grizzy is thrilled. His huge pantry problem is finally solved. But, solving one problem often opens up a new possibility. Now that all his data is perfectly organized, he realizes he can start asking it questions. So he turns to the lemmings and asks, "This is amazing. Now, how do I find just the strawberry jars?" And that sets us up perfectly for our next SQL adventure.